Hi, everybody. Excuse me a sec. Pastor Vern with your daily update. Got a little throat thing in here so I can continue to talk to you. Um, Even I kind of alluded to this. This was a question that I was given here the other day. Was Jesus literate? Could he read and write? Well, the answer to that is absolutely. Jesus was literate. He could read and write. I even kind of alluded to that in a couple sermons here lately, especially this last week when we talked about the synagogue, because the synagogue was a place of learning. And the Jewish people were really big on making sure that people could read or write their Hebrew language. And there was a couple of reasons for that. Um, Probably the main reason for that is they put great importance, especially on adult men, patriarchal society at that time, uh, a great importance on adult men being able to read the sacred word of God from the Old Testament. We've talked about, and I think I maybe mentioned this in a sermon the other day, is that uh, we don't know what Jesus was teaching about in the temple at the time that the man with the demon appeared. But I also mentioned, I think that we see in some of the other scriptures that Jesus is in the temple and they bring him the scroll and he reads from it. I think the book of Isaiah is mentioned a time or two. And so, yeah, there was great importance that I would say probably the Jewish people were maybe the most literate people in the world at that time, because throughout history, common folks until probably till public school systems became popular, were not usually literate. It cost money to learn how to read. Books cost money. A lot of folks just didn't even have a book to learn to read on. And so, but that was not a case with the Jewish people because that was a top priority. Because they had gone through so many time periods where they've had to use their oral history because of the lack of being able to write that and or having things destroyed around them, that it became important to them that everyone could read the scriptures, so that regardless of how they got scattered in the world, that there would be someone who could share the word with a group of people in the synagogue. And so, yeah, Jesus was literate. He could read and write. In fact, we actually hear about him reading in the scriptures. Um, well, that's one of the things that I think is important. Education has power. Being able to read has power. I know I wasn't the greatest student in the world, and sometimes I struggle with reading, even from the pulpit. And some of that has to do with eyesight and some of those kind of things. But also, I was never a great reader. I like to read. I read quite a lot, but um, because I think it's important. And I think they were probably decades, centuries maybe ahead of the rest of the world in realizing how important it was that all people had some education. All right. Well, you take good care of yourselves, watch out for others, and stay safe. Bye.